Hello everyone and welcome. Merry Christmas. It is Christmas 2021. Here's the Christmas 2021 video. Unfortunately, just like last year, Matthew is not with me. He still hasn't quite got all the work stuff sorted out, having had lockdown for the last sort of year and a half, and then even now suppliers are still a bit so he's working up until today. Today's Christmas Eve and he's still working up till today. He didn't have any free time, so I'm sorry, but we will try our best to get Matthew around for next year's Christmas video, and also around pretty soon, so that we can get on with this bloody G601 build that we started, what, 3-4 years ago now, and we're sort of part of the way through. I'm this close to just building it without him. You know, he's got his own one, but screw it, you know. Anyway, speaking of work, I've actually been home now for, I did a video yesterday for the first time since I got home. I've been home now for just over 2 weeks, which means I have to go back on the boat again in just under 2 weeks. Now I'm sorry, there's been basically no content with Christmas and everything. It's just been absolutely manic, trying to get everything ready. So yes, I do apologise for that. However, this will be my last offshore trip for a long while because I have a new job. I do. I've got a new job starting in about February. Basically, I have been an offshore contractor for many years. And now I have a job with the company I've mostly contracted for over those last few years, almost exclusively for this one company. I won't name any names. But basically now I've become an employee of them as a project manager, managing the people who are offshore and the projects from the shore. So I'm essentially the other side of what I was doing already, and I'll be working from home. So that's going to be a big change for me. I'm actually really excited about it, a bit nervous as well, but we're going to see how it goes. I won't be making a huge amount of money compared to my offshore contractor wages initially, but there's ladders to climb and things, and we'll hopefully be all right. The main takeaway is I'll have a salary, which means Rachel and I can look at getting a mortgage rather than renting at the moment, because at the moment a mortgage advisor will not talk to you if you're on a day rate. Simple as that. Anyway, I don't know how I'm going to fit videos around that schedule. Goodness knows, you get half an hour off per day. Obviously it's flexible, you are working from home, and I get weekends off, but I'll try my best to fit everything in. But I won't have as much free time as I do now. But I'll also be less ill than I am now, because I keep going on rubbish boats on night shift for weeks on end, come home, you're absolutely knackered, and I won't have any of that anymore. So anyway, on with the Christmas video. This year I have dark rum, because I always have a little tipple, usually whiskey, that one time eggnog, to celebrate Christmas with you guys. This is Bala, my favourite dark rum. I like to make dark and stormies with it. So cheers and Merry Christmas. So good. Bala's amazing. You should try it if you like your dark rums. It literally kicks Kraken to death. Kraken is nothing compared to this stuff. Anyway, what are we going to talk about this Christmas? Well, I thought we'd sum up 2021 with a very brief, who's your RC brand of the year and who's your RC brand flop of the year. Personally, this is a personal thing. For me, it probably won't surprise many of you who follow this channel. My RC brand of the year is Gmade, easily Gmade. I should squeeze past the camera and go over here for a second. This is my Gmade GSO2 Komodo double cab. I've had it for just over a year, and it is my favourite RC truck. Not my favourite RC, my favourite RC is the Team Lossy XXS touring car up there, the dark red shell. This is my favourite truck. And I've enjoyed this RC more in 2021 than I have any other RC in my collection, easily. It's phenomenal. Some of the rock crawling days we went out on with Matthew with his Element RC, his Enduro. My friend Scott borrowed the Komodo and I used my HPI Venture, which I've set up for more trail trucks. It was lower and more realistic stance, and so it really struggled on the rocks. But this was incredible. And Scott was he's a newbie, new to rock crawling, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So much so that I've decided to sell it, because I am buying, or I have bought, the new Komodo GSO2F, because I just wanted to support Gmade. they've done such a good job, and such a good company for listening to customer feedback and implementing changes that customers have asked for. I couldn't help myself but get the newer model. So this is the GSO2F Komodo double cab. I've done a little bit of progress since you last saw it, namely the body shell. And I've gone for dark red again, but how much better is that colour? I was so disappointed when I finished this one because the colour wasn't nearly as dark as I'd hoped. This was supposed to be dark metallic red, backed with silver and then black. Or maybe just black, I can't remember. Maybe it was just black. This one is 6 cans of paint on it, plus the smoked windows. So it's 2 cans of translucent red, 2 cans of chrome silver, and 2 cans of black. This is all Tamiya paints. And it's actually the same paints as I used for the Lossy touring car, but more layers and more cans, and it's got a bit of dust on it now. But hopefully the camera shows up to a point how nice it is, because we took a photo even with Rachel's really fancy new phone, never mind my phone, and it still doesn't quite show off how nice this colour is. You might not also see in the video how bad a paint job I did. This is one of the worst paint jobs I've done for years. Years and years. There's a big run there. There's a big run here that starts here, goes down there, goes all the way along this wing, around the corner, down past the light, and along to about there. And there's another run there, and it goes around the corner here. There's a little run there. There's a run there. And there's 2 paint splatters annoyingly on the window from the smoked paint. Basically, I made an absolute pig's arse of this body shell. However, most of the places that have runs on them will be covered by these sort of Komodo graphics. And also, the colour is just so good that it's going to look better than this one ever did, even with those runs and these problems. So I'm not really too fussed about it. The runs there, I'll put an additional sticker below the wing mirror, I think. Maybe not, I think so. And then I'm going to put something on the bonnet, just because, not because there's any runs, because the bonnet looks a bit plain compared to the rest of it, and there will be a roof rack, etc. It's going to look phenomenal. So yes, Gmade, absolutely my favourite brand of the year, or my brand of the year anyway. So, brand flop. Which brand has disappointed me the most this year? It pains me to say this, because I love this company, but it's got to be HPI. I'm sorry, it's got to be HPI. I absolutely want HPI to succeed. I adore HPI, but they promised change when they got their new ownership. They went into bankruptcy, they went into administration, they got bought out, they went to bankruptcy and administration again, they got bought out again, and they were promising change. Where is the change? Where's the new stuff? They have released a new Savage with a few of the problems fixed that long-term customers were complaining about, such as the piddly little wheel nuts have been replaced with proper hefty wheel nuts and hefty stub axles. Stub axles is the word, so hefty stub axles. And okay, that's good, but there are still plenty of problems with it that they haven't addressed, that long-term customers are still unhappy about. And then you have the ongoing stock issue, and it's just never ending. I contacted Alan, and I understand stock can run out, it is Christmas, but I contacted Alan to ask about getting a RS4 Sport 3, because I love my on-roads. It looks fantastic as an entry-level on-road car. It comes as a creator edition with no body shell, no wheels, no tyres, no electronics, so you can do your own thing. What was the answer from HPI? I asked for a few things. I asked for the car, I asked for the adjustable turnbuckles, I asked for the CV drive shafts, and I asked for some slick wheels and tyres. There's some pre-mounted wheels and tyres, 28Rs I think they're called. Really nice looking. Basically the same as these Moore speeds that I got on my Tamiya. Same, I would imagine they're probably the same wheels, just because Moore drove for HB hot bodies who were part of HPI at the time, and yada yada. I was expecting them to be basically the same wheels and tyres, but branded HPI rather than HB Moore speed. So HPI got back to them and said, sorry, car is out of stock, probably won't be available until February. Turnbuckles are in stock. Sorry, CV drive shafts are out of stock. We don't know when they'll be in, probably February, guess. Oh, the T28 tyres, sorry, they're discontinued. Okay, so the stock thing is pretty poor. We know this. We know the HPI struggle with stock. We know this. But the 28R, the 28R wheels and tyres are not only still listed on HPI's website for sale, they're listed as recommended parts for the RS4 Sport 3. So you go on the Sport 3 official HPI page, it has try these upgrades, try these, and it has try these different wheels and tyres, and it's listed as a recommendation, and they're discontinued. HPI, pull your finger out. We want to help you. Help us help you. Seriously, it's just so typical HPI. And then of course, just to continue the rant just for a moment longer, the list of upgrades for that car totals about 5 or 6 parts. How many upgrades has Tamiya got for the TT01? I mean, it's been out a lot longer, but I can guarantee if the Tamiya was out for the same amount of time the Sport 3 was out for, Tamiya would have pages of upgrades. Tamiya's bigger, I get that. Tamiya's more financially secure, I get that. But HPI need to pull out all the stops in order to bring the customers back. And they're not doing that. The current Savage, the new one, is more expensive by £100 in the UK. I don't know what it is internationally. More expensive by £100 than the Traxxas Max, which is itself overpriced. So HPI are still saying, yes, we're HPI, we deserve to be able to sell our products at premium prices. And I get that, because your quality of manufacturing and the quality of your materials and parts is still right up there. But you do not have the goodwill anymore to sell at premium prices. You just don't. That Savage, if it wants to sell, needs to undercut a Traxxas Max by at least £100, not overcut it. Because no one is going to look at two roughly the same size trucks, same sort of idea, although one of them's a sort of plastic tub and the other one's this archaic metal twin vertical plate thing, which no one else has adopted for many reasons. Although it looks cool and there's something at the door. No one's going to buy the HPI over the Traxxas unless you were a bit of an HPI fanboy, which I respect, but there's less of you now, and there's certainly less of you than there are Traxxas fanboys. So HPI, make some changes. Make those changes that you promised us all. Just dry my sorrows a little bit here, sorry. Anyway, do apologise for that rant. It's Christmas, let's all be merry and things. Gmade are good though. Gmade are awesome. I think what I'll do as I wrap up this video is just show you a little tour of the man cave, because I've made some progress to it over the last 12 months since we've been here. It isn't finished yet, but it's getting there, and I know some of you that follow this channel are interested in the way things are developing here. So we'll wrap this up with a little quick squiz around the room so you can see what's happened. Alright, so some of you know I built a new computer a few months ago, an absolute monster. I call it the Forge. AMD Ryzen 9 5900X, 32 gigs of DDR4 Crucial Ballistics, RTX 3080 Ti overclock. It's a beast. So there we are, there's my little gaming setup and editing setup, I guess, as well. Moving over here, my bookshelf is full. My bookshelf downstairs is full, but I keep buying books. I'm going to have to move things around a little bit, I think. There's that car that it's all Matthew's fault, and some spare parts. I've sold my Lossy Mini 8T. It's gone. It did sit here in front of the Madrat behind the pit bull, but I'm going to have to. I'm going to thin out the collection a little bit more before adding to it, because there's some trucks, as the collection has progressed, there's some trucks here that don't get enough use anymore. I mean, this Vortex I didn't like driving when I first got it because the tyres were absolutely dog dirt, but now with these Proline trenchers, it drives great. It's finally got the grip to actually be enjoyable. that sort of made the Mini 8T obsolete. The Mini 8T was only good on tarmac. It wasn't really an off-road vehicle. This could do both, and it was even tougher and even fast. Well, maybe not faster, but certainly tougher. The Triton I think I'll sell as well, because again, I can't see a situation where I'd pick that over that. You might say the same for the FTX Outlaw, but the FTX Outlaw drives in a very sort of fun and unique way because of the rear solid axle, so I'm going to keep that. And I like working on that for some reason. I know it breaks all the time, but I like working on it. The Gmade Meteor lunchbox spoof has basically had its day with me. Gmade Meteors are worth quite a lot of money now. I know, and these original wheels and tyres are super rare, and although some people would like to get hold of that chassis. It made me laugh, it made me smile when I first got it for Christmas, because I asked for a lunchbox, and I got a lunchbox, but that laugh is finished now. I say laughing. It's done. We got it all on camera when I first opened it up, so that was the enjoyable part. That's going to get sold too. I don't know what I'm going to do, Yokomo. I want someone to, when we start our race club up again, I want someone to use this in the race club, but we'll have to wait and see. They're all secure, they're all safe. There's no way I'm selling my favourite car. There's no way I'm selling the GRXS Type R, which I've never driven, but I want it to be carpet racer once we start the club up. TL01's never been run. I want to try that indoors on carpet. My TT01 is my Type E is my go-to on-road. Many upgrades in it. It's a great car now. Wasn't very good when I first built it. It's great now. The Venture is my trail truck. It's not going anywhere. I've just upgraded it with a better motor. Put the same Holmes Hobbies. You can't really see it, but Holmes Hobbies 12-turn 5-slot motor, 550 size. I put one of those in there as well because it's so smooth. And that's just the box for that. And that is the box for that. And this is Shunt from Robot Wars, which I would love to turn radio control one day. It was a sort of RC toy grade piece of crap, but I mean serious. So that's something that's going to be long term. I might tinker with that over the year. That's the steering wheel for my first ever car, my Citroen AX GT. It got scrapped not that long ago. I had it for many years. Sad, but it needed to. It was rotten. So yep, steering wheel, kept that. I was going to keep the gear knob as well, but the people who picked up the car for the scrappy bust. There's a little red trim around the outside that was in a recess, and they bust it off. And then when I put my hand on it, there was no recollection. It didn't feel like it used to. So it's like, oh man, the actual, what's the word? I don't know, but it didn't feel like mine anymore. You know what I mean? So anyway. I liked Starlink when it came out. I don't really know what to do with these, but they look good on display. My Nintendo shelf is, I think, done. I found this, or Matthew found it actually, in my parents' house, my Super Scope, which I've been looking for years and years. Couldn't find it. It was buried somewhere at my mum and dad's house, but he found it. So I'll maybe try that at some point. It still works. All these still work. I mean, Nintendo build things to last, don't they? That still works. And I'm going to have the Sega. We have the 4 Segas as well. We have a Master System 2, which has been modified for RGB. We got a Mega Drive 1. We have Saturn 1. Yes, Saturn 1. And we have a Dreamcast, which I believe there was only one variant of the Dreamcast. So they'll go on a smaller shelf there. I don't know what to do with this space here. Some sort of artwork or something, because there's a bit. Everything else is, you know, I don't want the room to be so busy, but there is a big bland bit of wall there. So, yeah. And then we've got these are the minis. These aren't actually original releases. These are the mini releases. I have that's right, I have the Mega Drive Mini, just like I have the SNES Mini and the NES Mini, the Nintendo Entertainment System Mini. Again, I don't know what to do with there. There's a screw in the wall there. Somebody obviously had something. I might just leave that. And there, shelf up there, which I will display the Teo heads up hopper, which is in that box. And maybe Shunt when he's finally done, if he's ever done. Yeah, it's coming there. It's getting there. It's a nice place to be, but still work to do. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic Christmas and a fantastic New Year. We might have a video before New Year, don't know. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Have a great one, and Merry Christmas. Cheers.